All right, welcome everyone to the Saturday Spirituality Group at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And Stan brought up it was a very small part of everything he said, but it was something that stuck with me, and that is, why are we here? What is the purpose of being a human being alive on planet Earth? Why are we here? Why are you here? Why is Julie here? Why is Angela here? Why is Chaplain James here? Why is Stan here? Why am I here? Why are we here? Do you guys have any ideas, any clues as to why you're here?
That should be every person's mission in life, Dan. You have to figure that out for yourself.
Well, Chaplain James, why are you here?
Me,
Yes, Chaplain James.
I'm here to help the people free their mind. That's my purpose in life. And that is what I do.
And tell us about that purpose in more detail.
More detail. It's something it can't be explained. It's like it has to be shown, Dan. It's a see me kind of thing. I can't explain it to you. Because most of the time when I try to explain it to people, they say, huh? And then they say, what the hell are you talking about? So I learned that that's not the best way. It's something I have to show you, explain to you, and take you through it slowly and that you realize the progression.
All right, but at least you know your purpose, right?
Yes, but it took me a while to figure it out. It wasn't always known. You see what I'm saying? It's something you came upon. You take your talents, gift, knowledge, and hopefully it goes in that direction. You see what I'm saying?
And you called it, your purpose is to open people's minds, you said, right?
Yeah, open it, free your mind.
Free their minds.
Yes.
Is that like helping people become enlightened?
Yes, Dan, just like it. Matter of fact, it's a similar process.
Beautiful. And do you have anything more you want to say about that?
Nope, I finished.
All right. So, Helen, I want to welcome you to the group. And what we're talking about right now is why are we here? Why are we alive on planet Earth? What is our purpose? Do you have any clues as to why you're here, Helen?
Oh, it's just 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can hear me. Um, so it's a very philosophical, deep question, and I don't think really, if you ask really people to tell the truth, I don't think that they know exactly, but they believe that was your purpose, let's say, from the ancestors on. So let's say if my parents were Holocaust people, survivors, then the whole idea is for the evil. I mean, right now I'm thinking, a minute before or a minute after something else. But if my parents were Holocaust survivors, then I guess for evil not to be perpetuated in the world and to say evil wins. I think that the continuum of life is the important thing, because actually the world is very beautiful if people don't mess it up, right? So, I hear other people, and therefore I kind of maybe resonate with other people. What I hear is that, as a matter of fact, this was a black person on the Metro Focus saying, and he's a leader in his community, so that the police will not be doing bad things, no doubt. And he said, our ancestors, grandparents, even parents did not die in vain. They died so that we can continue living. So, maybe that has some kind of a sense, but it's a very deep question. And as a matter of fact, I belong to HIR, Hebrew Institute of Riverdale, because they helped us when there was a tragedy, losing my hubby. But in general, I used to belong to them, and my kids were in the place that were always there for the holidays. And this rabbi emeritus, he's now in Israel with his 8 grandchildren, I think. He's got grandchildren here too, but he's there. So he was, and I'll never forget it. And I always repeated when I have a chance, never say why. You will never get an answer to the why. It's how you deal with it, attitude, how you try to cope with it. That's the important thing.
So you're saying it's not important to know to understand why we're here and alive, but
correct. That's what he said. He's a leader, that strong leader, and I very much respect him. Many people respect him. He was the one who went to Auschwitz and said, you cannot say that this will be a nunnery in Auschwitz. It cannot be a nunnery. And he won the fight in the courts. He was the one who freed the Soviet Jewry. He, not alone, the whole movement, but he was one of the leaders where the Jews were allowed to leave Russia, because in Russia they were not happy. They did not have freedom. Yeah.
So clearly this is a great man and a fighter of what's right. But what about, but we're talking about you, Helen.
Well,
Helen,
maybe the me is not that strong mentally. That's why I may be in this group, mood disorder and all of that. But I think if I have examples of people who are strong mentally, he had a heart operation, years ago, which I guess he
Helen, the
was lucky
question
he
is,
cannot have. But the point is, since I
yeah.
am not so strong, I take it from stronger people, the different aspects of your question.
So you pass.
That's it.
You said all of that just to pass.
No. This is not passing. I mean, I express. I don't think this is passing. I think this is, maybe my ancestors, I'm sure learned a lot from their ancestors and whatever. And that's how it continues. That's how their life is in this world.
But does life have a purpose?
Well, maybe somebody else has a better, how you call it, explanation, because everybody's entitled to their explanation. But I did my shtick here on this meeting.
All right, so you do pass. Thank you, Helen.
The poet Dan, the poet W.H. Auden once apparently said, "We are here to do good to others, but what the others are here for, I haven't got a clue." And
Say it again. I didn't get the last sentence. Can you say it again?
we're put here to do good for others, but
Yeah.
what the others are here for, I really don't know. I don't have a clue.
Okay, to do good for others, but then what?
We are put here to do good for others,
Okay.
but what the others are here for, I don't know.
That is very good. Yeah. We can ask that in the conflict in the Middle East. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, the Remembrance Day just happened, and just kind of diverting a little bit, but I thought, there's all this talk right now about war and all these people who died so that we could have our freedom. And here we are, we're still killing each other, more than ever. And we still haven't got it. And it just breaks my heart, that anywhere. I have a worker here who comes from Sudan, her country. She grew up as a refugee in Uganda, ended up in Canada. It's, but all around the world, and we're still doing this. It's 21st bloody century, and we're still killing each other.
You're right about that.
So I have to wonder about that, Dan. In terms of why we're here, it might just be that it's an experiment. Life is experiment, is working out what it can be. We're all these different, it's simply exploring all these different possibilities, that have somehow come about. And humans have come about, and we've come about as a result of that, never-ending complexification of this life, this energy that organizes the world into the shapes and bits that it's made of. And so I don't know, I see us all as part of one thing, which is life that permeates everything, and it's like another field next to space-time almost. And we're all just little individual manifestations, and some of them work and some of them don't work. Some of them work better, some of them fail quickly. Some of them are big mistakes. By the way, Helen, my mother was with the resistance in Warsaw. She would
Oh,
have been
wow, really?
today.
Wow. Oh, wow,
She
admirable.
Wow.
she was captured in '43, I think, and then spent the rest of the war as a POW. And she was 5'2" at her tallest, and she weighed about 110 pounds. So she could get in through the little chinks in the ghetto. So one of her jobs was actually smuggling food into the Warsaw ghetto. And it was
Wow.
fascinating watching the pianist and sort of getting a view of what it might have looked like inside that place. Anyways, it's all connected. It's all so close, And then this is happening in the world. And, like somewhere, I feel like people would learn already, Like, let's just stop killing each other, Anyways, that's why
That was very meaningful what I heard from you, and especially about your mom. Very moving to me. Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing that. Appreciate it a lot.
Thank you. And I know that in your community also, your parents would have had friends, but in our, we're Polish. I'm not actually Jewish. I'm Polish, but a lot of people experience devastating mental health issues. My mother developed what, we call schizophrenia. Today, I've gone away from calling her schizophrenic any longer. She just had a lot of trauma that was left over from the war. But by 1960, so 15 years after the war, and across the world from where she had grown up, she developed these conditions, delusions, psychosis, disconnects from reality, and changed our lives forever too, because I grew up with that, but I know that there were many people, and that's one of the things that has kept me active in both the peace movement and in the mental health movement is war causes mental health issues, causes
Yes,
mental illness.
you're
So,
right. And the generations, inherit that. Yeah.
and we carry that. It gets written on top of our genes in the epigenes, in the proteins that sit on top of our genes, our past traumas, that history is written, and it can be repaired. But we carry it for generations. It's heritable. So yeah, and
Kenya,
yet we are all, we are all equal. We're all humans, and we all have that sort of inherent right to live, to flourish, to figure out, what we're here for, what the purpose is.
They discovered now some kind of a species, looks like an anteater, and then looks like the other side of its body about something else. That they never knew that this exists because it is from the time of the dinosaurs, and yet they
Right.
just discovered this species. So it's all
Well,
like, why? Well, look at this kind of things going on.
I was listening on Radio Lab, the app. John McCarthy, the founder of AI, he started feeling bad about discovering AI and how far it's come because it's taking over the world and it's becoming far away from the human being, and technology and how it's taking over. Artificial intelligence is taking over the human experience.
what about the human experience is being taken over?
Artificial intelligence taking over jobs, for one thing. It's, it's taking over a lot of jobs. It's taking over a lot of resources.
Is AI preventing us from finding our purpose?
Well, it's not, but it's gearing people. I mean, computers are having a hold on people too. It's kind of putting people on a path to, gearing people to think in a certain way. But I don't necessarily feel that, I'm just concerned about AI, you know.
Have you thought about your purpose on planet Earth?
My purpose is to evolve. I have a sister that lives in Israel and my niece and my nephew. And they were talking about the Holocaust, and I have an uncle that survived the Holocaust. His parents and sisters and brothers didn't, and he was given to a German family to live with, and he never talked about the Holocaust again. And he survived and moved on, but never spoke about it to anybody. I have a sister who studied theology in school and studied different religions and decided in her 30s to move to Israel and start a family, and married a man from Swaziland, Africa, and started a family in Israel in Sfat in the countryside. And that was her decision, and I can't understand completely why she did it, because I thought about all the war that went on there, not just in Gaza, but just war in general, and how her children would have to go into the military at least for 2 years, and war would possibly come up. And one of her children, my niece, is in the military right now. And it's very upsetting. It's very scary. She's 19 years old and working on an aircraft, and it's top secret, and she can't talk about it. And
It's very painful, yeah.
And there are safe houses for my sister and my brother-in-law and my niece and my nephew, but my niece, could be in jeopardy, and that scares me. And she's just 19.
I'm so sorry you have to go through this pain.
So, I pray, and spiritually, that's what I can do. I pray, and, I have faith. And what I think is, for my life, I think why I'm here is we're to evolve. We're to, we're to continually evolve. I mean, from my parents, from my grandparents, we're to learn from them and learn what not to do, and take from them what we want to and what we feel like we've gotten from them that is good.
Right.
And leave the rest, that we feel like is trash,
Yeah.
And move forward, and move on with our lives, and what we can do with the people in our lives that we can. Some things, we can't, we are out of our reach, like my family in Israel. There's only so much I can do, but like pray for them, right now. And send prayers. Like for me, it's Hashem, For other people, it might be creative visualization, you know.
For Muslims, Allah.
I'm sorry?
No, I said for Muslims, the same thing, but they call it Allah, I think.
Yeah, I
Muslim.
mean, but it's not just Israeli, it's the Palestinians too. I pray for everybody, you know. I wish this, war would just end, and it's just gone on for so long, and with these terrorist groups, it's just very frightening. And it's not just Hamas, it's Hezbollah too. It's these militant groups, and they're very frightening. It's just very frightening how they just would kill anybody in sight that's in their way, and so my path for myself is just evolving, just take what I know and leave the rest and just move forward with my life the best I can.
Do you feel you're continually evolving, or are there some blockades in front of you?
There've been blocks with my mental illness, there've been definite blocks, that I've had. And there've been a lot of stops, go forward, go back 5 steps, go forward 2 steps. But I feel optimistic, There's been a lot of optimism in my life too. I've never felt like, you know what, I felt there have been times when I've given up, and then I've jumped back in the ring again. And I've been optimistic, and I'm like, okay, I'm going forward. I'm going for it again,
Have you thought of have you ever imagined what type of evolved person you would like to become?
Well, I think somebody who evolved person I'd like to become. Yeah, it's still a little bit more personal to me.
It's okay if you don't want to talk about it. I just thought that just popped in my head, and it seemed like an appropriate question.
Yeah, but it's very close to my heart still. It's still it's still like budding. It's like I've just come to Fountain House and things are budding still because I've made a new chapter in my life, and I just transitioned again. So it's still budding for me.
Okay, it's all right, no problem.
Okay.
If later on we have until like 1 o'clock, so maybe if the spirit moves you to say some more about this, that would be great. We have time for that. But let's go to Angela. Angela, I think you were very patient, and I muted you, I unmuted you, blah blah blah. Angela, would you like to speak?
Yes, I would. um, Earlier, Chaplain James was talking about enlightenment. I have a piece here that I originally got from a NIAPRIS training. And they used it in the NIAPRIS trainings until Chaco came on, because it's Swami Beyondananda's Guidelines for Enlightenment. And I really like it. I don't see what's offensive about it, but they pulled it because I guess he thought it was like cultural appropriation or something. But I'd like to read it. It's 10 points, and I think it's hilarious. Swami Beyondananda's Guidelines for Enlightenment. Number 1, be a fundamentalist. Make sure fun always comes before the mental. Realize that life is a situation comedy that will never be canceled. A laugh track has been provided, and the reason we are put in the material world is to get more material. Have a good laughsitive twice a day, and that will ensure regular hilarity. Number 2, remember that each of us has been given a special gift just for entering, so you are already a winner. Number 3, the most powerful tool on the planet today is tell-a-vision. That is where I tell a vision to you and you tell a vision to me. That way, if we don't like the program we are getting, we can change the channel. Number 4, life is like photography. You use the negative to develop. And no matter what adversity you face, be assured, of course, God loves you. He's just not ready to make a commitment. Number 5, it is true as we go through life thinking heavy thoughts, thought particles build up between the ears, causing a condition called truth decay. So be sure to use mental floss twice a day. And when you are tempted to practice tantrum yoga, remember what we teach in Swami's absurdiveness training class is don't get even, get on. Number 6, if we want world peace, we must let go of our attachments and live like nomads. That's where I nomad at you and you nomad at me. That way, we will surely be no madness on the planet. And peace begins with each of us. A little piece here, a little piece there. Pretty soon, all the pieces will fit together to make one big piece everywhere. Number 7, I know Earth changes have been predicted for the future. So if you are looking to avoid earthquakes, my advice is simple. When you find a fault, don't dwell on it. Number 8, there is no need to change the world. All we have to do is toilet train the world and we'll never have to change it again. Number 9, if you are looking to find the key to the universe, I have some bad news and I have some good news. The bad news is there is no key to the universe. The good news is it's been left unlocked. And finally, number 10, everything I have told you is channeled. That way, if you don't like it, it's not my fault. And remember, enlightenment is not a bureaucracy. So you don't have to go through channels.
I love
I
that.
love that. Oh my God.
Angela, do send that to me, please. I love that. Or should I say Dan? Then Angela said that to you and you said that to me. Oh, I love that. Why would they have taken something like that down? That is so thought-provoking. But then the other thing I say, people with limited minds always they want to structure everything and oh, this can't be. Oh God,
I
that is
really, I
that
really
is
like we gotta live like nomads. I nomad
yeah,
at him, he nomad at me.
yeah. That was so interesting. I love stuff like that. Ugh.
Oh, Angela, hold on, you're muted.
Well, Dan has it on tape.
I do?
Yeah, you're recording this, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm recording this. So I'll send you all the video of this, and with Angela speaking and sharing that list of what was top 10? What was it? Top 10 what?
Swami Beyondananda's Guidelines for Enlightenment.
Oh, okay. Guidelines for Enlightenment. Very good. Very good. I
I don't
like
know who
it.
wrote it originally, but Swami Beyondananda was one of the characters that Jay Leno used to use when he had the Tonight Show.
Oh. So Jay Leno read this to the public at some point?
I don't know. I
Cool.
don't know. I got it through Niapris.
Oh, very nice. Very so Niapris printed it somewhere?
Somewhere, sometime, and then they pulled it out when Chaco said that it
Chaku
was
objected.
culturally inappropriate.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Well, I mean, you know, Chaku's imagining Jay Leno putting on like brown face and wearing like a
The
turban.
hat. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
So that's offensive, you know. But it was, I mean, hey, white folks found it funny, but that doesn't mean Chaku's a brown folk. So that's an issue there. Um, so all right. Oh,
That,
Stan unmuted himself.
Dan, I know that you lean towards the philosophical and you probably ponder this question often enough. So, what do you think? Why are we here? What's this all about?
Oh, well, I subscribe to the belief that we're here, just like Julie said, to evolve. Because we're coming in here and like the Christians say, we got the devil in our heads, right? So evolving means like evicting the devil from our heads, and like Chaplain James says, opening our minds and being more connected to the universe and to each other, being enlightened. The pursuit of enlightenment, I think, is the purpose of a human life, the real purpose, if the species is to survive.